Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Today we are talking about the Atomic Bent 90. This ski's been around for a few seasons now, and it is just so much fun to ski. Really glad that we get it back for 2024 with just a new top sheet graphic. And I really like the new look of these skis. I think the red is a really cool colorway for the Bent 90. And super fun. You know, we've been testing this ski a ton. We've had a number of different people on it over the years, from park skiers to mogul skiers to people that just kind of cruise groomers. Really, every type of skier that you can think of, we have put on the Bent 90. And what's just super fascinating and very impressive is that just about everybody that skis it appreciates what it can do and has a really good time skiing it. So Atomic's able to keep the weight down and the price down on these skis by using what I think is a pretty simplistic build, but it really works in this ski, and they kind of counter its simplicity by a really cool shaping concept, which we'll look at in just a second. From construction perspective, we just get a poplar wood core in this ski and no crazy additives. There's no carbon or anything like that. Probably the most technologically advanced aspect of this ski is the Horizon Tech, so this kind of beveling boat hull or surfboard-like finish to the tips and tails. Really cool. You see it on a lot of Atomic skis, and it basically just gives them a little bit more maneuverability, easier edge release, and kind of a surfy feel. The flex pattern of this ski works really well for what it is. It is not like crazy soft, but it's also not stiff. Probably the most notable thing about the flex pattern is the amount of energy and snap back that it has, and that really comes through when you ski it. So I mentioned that construction is pretty simple and shape is thus very important, and I really do think that's true in this ski. And one of the most important things about it is just all of this camber. So we looked at that snappy flex pattern. We talked about the poplar wood core. You're not getting just a tremendous amount of strength out of the material poplar itself. So they're kind of building the strength into the ski with the amount of camber that it has. And it really does increase edge grip and overall stability, as well as responsiveness and energy and that stuff. Looking at the tips and tails of the ski, we do get quite a bit of rocker as well. Something that I think is important to remember about the Bent 90 is it is still a directional ski. You can mount it pretty darn far forward, but there's more tip rocker up here than tail rocker. It should be pretty easy to see visually on camera that there is kind of, you know, it's not a symmetrical shape. It is definitely asymmetrical, especially when we look at side cut dimensions and rocker profile. Now, kind of a fun conversation talking about symmetry on this ski because there's a huge range of mount points. So you can go all the way to +6 and you can go all the way to -4. So I don't think there's a single ski on the market that has a bigger range of mount points than that. The Bent 100 is kind of the other ski because that has the same range. And that is, to me, just extremely indicative of all the different people that can ski this thing. So mounted at the factory line, and it's just a kind of normal feeling all mountain ski, pretty balanced, gonna do just fine on groomers. Not the most torsional stiffness in the world, excuse me, but it'll still hold an edge in most situations. And then you can take it off trail and into the trees and stuff like that. And even at that kind of mid-factory recommended point, it's still going to be fairly balanced for park skiing. If you're like me, and with the Bent 90, you're going to probably be using it mostly in the park. You can go all the way up there to that +6 point, or, you know, somewhere in between, maybe +4. Maybe you're not in the park all the time. And then you can even go the other way. Say you're the type of skier that you really like spending all your time in the trees, but you don't live in a place that gets a ton of snow. I think the Bent 90 is a really good choice for a skier like that. And you could go all the way back to -4 if you really prefer having a lot more tip than tail. So I think that's one of the things that has made this ski so popular, is because you can choose it and kind of customize its performance to match what you like to do. I also think that's why in our ski tests and other testing, it just seems to have such broad appeal. And it's also nice that the price isn't too high. So if you're buying it, you're not emptying your bank account. I don't believe we put it on the scale. So before we go, just over 1,700 grams in this ski, and this is the 184 centimeter length. So that's pretty darn impressive, very, very lightweight. And again, I think it's really nice that they put that amount of camber in there, because if you didn't have that with its construction and with that weight, it might feel a little bit jittery or twitchy, but I don't really think it feels that way at all. Maybe if you start getting to really, really high speeds on super, super firm snow, it could be a little bit like that, but I don't think that happens super often, and I don't think that's really the intended purpose of the ski, especially when Atomic's got things like Redsters and Maverick 95 Ti and stuff like that. So great ski. I always have a blast skiing it, and I always really enjoy talking about it as well. So that's the Bent 90 from Atomic. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you out there on the slopes.